How you doing? Today is Thursday, July 16th, 2020. I took the day off yesterday from trading, but there's some good lessons here to learn from my prior trades because I'll say this much. I traded PRCP on Tuesday and I did the video, and at the video end, I think I said, all right, I'm going to check this out at the end of the day and see what it's doing and maybe place another trade, which is what I did. So we can talk about that. And we're going to also talk about BOXL, which is another company that I traded on Monday. And quick lesson we'll have on that about where it is now and what it might do next week. And then also we have this one last one called Gene, Gene. And that one is a great example of what we call FOMO, fear of missing out. You know, when you take a day off, actually, let's go into it right now, right? So I took a day off yesterday, and there's always this feeling when you take a day off during the trading week that something could happen. You know, that could be the day where you get alerted in the chat room about some fast-moving stock where you could profit 100, 200, 300%, and, you know, you decide to take a day off that day. I got nothing against people trading every day. I do it sometimes, but I just had to take the day off. And the lesson there was I didn't beat myself up over it. But since we're talking about it, let's take a look at it. Gene is the name. Oh, no, that's General Electric. Let's see. Wrong. Here it is. So this one I got alerted yesterday. This is their 1-year chart. So as you can see, they've been trading over the last year around $2. Through here, they had a spike back in January of this year, up from $2 to 4.8 up in the four, and then it consolidated a bit, and then it kind of tapered up down, and then during the Corona lockdown crisis, when everything went down in late March, it hit a low of 148. Been struggling, and then all of a sudden, pow! It went from 220s to like, I mean, even it got as high as $10.34. And as you can see up here, the bid and the ask is $0, which means it's been halted. Which usually means the Security Exchange Commission either sees something that might be illegal going on, or they see something where, you know, they just need to. It's just so fast moving stock that it sometimes trips what they call these breakers. They have circuit breakers that if a stock's tanking way too fast or if it's rising way too fast, it just automatically shuts it down. But usually it resumes within minutes. This looks like it's been shut down for a while now because I've been looking at this page off and on for the last 20 minutes. So, and I check the news and I don't see anything in the news about why it's halted like this at this point. In any case, this was a great example of just like, I was at work. Well, I wasn't at work. I was actually doing a radio show, and I hadn't been to this radio studio in a couple of years. They do a lot of my shows remotely. I record them at home, but this was my first live show in a couple of years, and I was seeing old friends and seeing old colleagues, and they were giving me a tour of the new studio and all that, and then that's when I got alerted. And I was also trying to work on my show and get it prepared. And I could have been rude and could have been like, I got to go, and went straight to my laptop and just glued myself to it for like an hour, you know, riding this wave. And, you know, I'm not like that. So I just said, you know what, this is actually more important, what's going on right now. Like, you know, seeing old friends I hadn't seen in a couple of years. And so I just ignored I would get the alerts and I would glance down, but I wouldn't read the whole thing, and I could see something big was happening. And I think there's a few lessons here, but the main one is that this is going to happen all the time. You're going to have moments where you're going to be like driving, you're going to be doing something with family, and you missed out on something. And this whole FOMO acronym, fear of missing out, what can happen is you can then try to revenge trade. You're like, oh, well, I have to get the next one. And then you start to overtrade, and you start looking at everything as a potential 100% plus gainer. So it happened. I got alerted. I'm happy to see the subscription that I signed into, works, and And that's that. So let's go to PRCP, right? So PRCP. And we talked about this in the last video. This was something I traded on Tuesday, where I entered in the morning at about with $4.79, and I sold it at $4.60, and then later on it moved up, right? So what I did with this one, this is a 1 year chart. I'm sorry. And look where it is right now, man. It's going down to 460, but it got up as high as 729, and I sold it at 711 and 714 later in the afternoon. So I basically broke even that day. In the last video, I said, I'm still going to watch this stock PRCP and see what's doing midday or later in the afternoon. And so I did. And so I traded it and made out a little bit on it. That was on July 14th. Here we are, July 14th. I came in on the trade at literally at midday, about 11:39 in the morning. If I can find it here. Let's see, 11:39. It's 11:52. Yeah. So in here, so what happened was if I can give you an idea of why I bought in right here, it was a little risky, but the trading software that I use was indicating that it was about to break this intraday high of $6.53, and that its 52-week high right up here, as you can see. This is a 52-week high. It says $7.29 right now, but that's because it's gone further. But on that day, Tuesday, it was like $6.70. So it broke it, and I thought, like, okay, if that happens, then it's possible it could go 30, 40, 50, maybe even 100%, But if it went like 20, 30%, I would have been very happy with that. So I thought, okay, let's buy in. So I bought in at on this green candle you can see right here, and this is like a 1 minute candle. I got in, I got in at $6.86, and then it got up as high as like 720, I think. Look at 729. It got in the 720s, and of course these candles are moving up and down a lot, in seconds. They're going from like 690 to like 720 to 704, and then it's 699, $7, and it's like struggling at that, and then it breaks out, and then it breaks down. So you're trying to decide, does it have the strength? So I decided to play it safe, and I made out on a 5% gain. No, I made out on a 3.5% gain and a 4% gain. I sold half my position at $7.11, up from $6.86, and then I sold it a few minutes later at $7.14 for 4% gain. So, and then it went down, like literally like a minute or so after that. Like I sold that at like 11:50 in the morning, right about there, and then this red candle's like 6 minutes later, and it went down to 6:36, and then it went down even further, and then it went down even further, and then dig this. I decided at the end I might even play this a third time. I've already played in the morning, but at midday, I'm going to play it again. And right in here, right, market close. And I like to look at market close because that's when a lot of Wall Street professionals, hedge fund, mutual fund type people, they've looked at what the big moves were that day, and they'll look at penny stocks and they're like, oh, wow, there's a penny stock that's been in the news and never heard of it. Let's check it out. And they go, maybe we should invest a small position. But for them, a small position is a massive position to us, which will influence the stock price. And so I was going to buy in, right, man? Like it was like 552 is what it was at, 552. And it started to go up. And I thought, okay, let me get in. And I couldn't because I had overtraded. And with overtrading, basically what happens is, I have like a certain amount of money in my account. And I was buying and selling for the last 3 days. And even though it said in my account that the money is there, because you make those trades, the money's still in some sort of limbo or some sort of process where it takes sometimes like a lag time for it to actually be in your account. So it will let you trade if the the money's technically not in your account, but you risk getting your account frozen for 90 days for doing something like that. And for me, that's not worth it. So once again, I watched it go up. I went like I probably would have got in because I was ready. I actually placed a trade and it threw it back at me saying you have insufficient funds right now for it, even though it says I have enough funds. Don't really. So I probably would have got in at 581, and it went up to $7. That would have been like good 20, I think 30%. Just I'm not good at math. I'm just kind of guessing, but I know it's like the gain I was looking for back here in the midday. So anyway, didn't happen. And because of that, I was like, I'm gonna take a day off. I've obviously been trading way too much, and sometimes when you overtrade, you start to, you just start to get too many losses sometimes by overtrading. So took the day off, and then this brings me to the last one called BOXL, which we talked about on a previous video. This was on Monday. I placed a trade, and I made a profit on this on Monday. 5% on a half position and 7% on the other. And this is something that is gone up. I mean, like I bought this thing at $1.60 on Monday, and it's now at $3.34. Like we're talking almost twice as much as what I paid for it. And look, it even got up to $4.62 today. Should I, of course, yeah, in retrospect, should I have held it? Yeah, okay, of course. But I don't have the patience to risk it doing that. It could easily, like right here, it went down. It went from 186 to 151, meaning it could have even gone down even further. But the thing that taught me right here, this is Monday right here, at a half hour before the market closes, and it went down, but it still finished strong on the day. And my instinct said to me, buy again right here at the end at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, because it had strength on this day. It's good chance it'll have strength the next day, which it did, as you can see. It got all the way up to $2.73 by 10:30 in the morning the next day. But you see this volatility. I mean, it was like at 10 o'clock in the morning, it was at 270. Then, it got down to 219, an hour later. So the thing that we do, the reason why I'm talking about this is that, and I'll look at a 1-year chart for you on this one to see it better. So this is a 1-year chart. This is January right here, $1.71. And as you can see, it kind of petered down, and then during the Corona crisis, when it first came out, everywhere in the stock market went down, mid-March, it was down at 37 cents. And then it just kind of did this sort of, it started to uptrend a little bit to 85 cents. And it had a spike, in May. And you might ask, why do these spikes happen? Most often it's news, good news, or speculative news about, I think this is a education company that's trying to work with schools and trying to make things more coronavirus, dealing with the contingencies of the coronavirus when they reopen more. And so the point here is that it's overextended, is what I'm trying to say. We've been discussing this in the chat room that it's up way too high. It's gonna collapse at some point. When, we don't know. So this is something I'm gonna watch tomorrow on Friday and see how it's gonna behave, and try to take an opportunity if I see it tomorrow, and that's where that's at. And so we're beta testing this. This is the third video we're beta testing. I've gone out, talked to some friends about what I could do better. One thing is to do the zoom function, which I totally spaced, just to prove I know how to do it. But here you go, BOXL, B-O-X-L was one. Gene was the other one, the one that I missed yesterday. Right here. Look, I'll even go more. Look at that. Gene. And then the one that I traded like 3 times or almost traded 3 times this week, and I totally overtraded, but I broke even with, which was at least some sort of consolation prize, because the main thing is that I learned. PRCP, that's the other one. And one question I've been getting is, why don't I go into more detail about how I come up with these theories? Now, I will say this is a trading journal for me, and I hope, it's to help me learn what I'm doing so I can see what my own trends are and what my own mistakes are and my near misses and why I had success, why I had some losses. And I hope people can learn from me, from that at least. But right at this moment, I'm not 100% comfortable divulging too much privileged information, I guess one way to put it, because I belong to some chat rooms where there's subscription fees to, and I've taken a lot of time vetting which chat rooms to belong to and who to give money to in order to learn this stuff. But a lot of this stuff is free online, and you can find a lot of this stuff on YouTube and also in blogs, checking out how to read technicals and how to try to read where a stock might go. So anyway, please leave a comment, and love to hear from anybody. And take care. All right. Thanks.